Tonight, team coverage of gunfire inside Fox 13 studios.
An active shooter is currently starting top business.
First-hand accounts from people on the front lines.
Extremely animated with his hands. I saw that he had a weapon tucked into his pants.
Video you won't see anywhere else.
That's my soul in there. You understand what I'm saying?
Right now, we reveal the suspected gunman's demands.
I'm not doing shit. Y'all gonna have to kill me.
The standoff that shut down the Highland Strip and the arrest. Team coverage of breaking news now on Fox 13.
Well, today, the gun violence that plagues our city has now touched our home at Fox 13. We come to you tonight grateful that no one was hurt.
So let's walk you through what happened. We have surveillance video from our front lobby right here. A man came to our station, said he wanted to tell his story. When he was told by security officers to leave his information, he instead fired a single gunshot through our front door. Now, thankfully, we have ballistic glass. The shot was able to penetrate. It did hit our front desk, as you see here, left a hole, but no one was hurt, thankfully.
Well, the man then went next door to a restaurant where he barricaded himself inside a bathroom and then live streamed his rant on Facebook Live. Police blocked off the entire Highland Strip and helped keep our employees safe. This is also a shot of that from outside of our front door. Now, eventually, we know that police were able to talk the suspect out of that restaurant and take him into custody.
Now, like many victims of crime in our community, we cannot help but be thankful, but also think of what might have been. Because the ballistic glass we're talking about, it's not bulletproof. It stops small caliber weapons. It will not stop a large caliber weapon or high powered weapon. But it was installed just months ago and was able to redirect that bullet and at least slow it down.
So grateful that was installed. So grateful.
Our crews are safe as well and able to bring you live team coverage tonight. We're trying to answer the questions that you might have about this unfortunate and very public shooting.
We're going to get started with Fox 13's Dominic Dillon, who was on the air anchoring our midday show when the gunman came to our station.
Yeah, many people are probably wondering how this gunman was able to get into the building. Well, throughout the day, this front door remains unlocked so that people that are here to visit, they can walk inside, then hit this buzzer and explain to security why they're here. Now, if they gain access, then you are allowed to get into the Fox 13 newsroom. And obviously, you can see why once you see this video. Obviously, in the video, you can see him trying to speak with security guards at the front desk. He lifts his rifle and shoots into the inner door. And then you can see that the bullet hits the floor and ricochets into the front desk. Both of the security guards ducked for cover. Now, they were shaken up, as you can imagine, but not injured. He then yanks on the handle several times, and after he has no luck getting into the building, that's when he finally gives up and he walks off. Fortunately, no one was injured. You could see the security guards duck for cover, but everyone in the newsroom, they were shaken up. But like Daryl mentioned, fortunately, we did have that ballistic glass to redirect the bullet.
Redirect the bullet and keep him from kicking through the glass that he had damaged as well. We were very fortunate, Dominique. Thank you.
Mind you, this right here, this is the street that we drive down every single day to come into the station. We walk along the Highland Strip to grab lunch, but we never expected to see police barricade everything around us, though we are grateful that they did. We want to continue our team coverage tonight. We are live outside with Fox 13's Dakari Turner. Dakari, you've been to, of course, many police scenes and news conferences as well, but it is so surreal to be at one for ourselves.
Exactly that. In fact, I said that when we were on air breaking into programming this afternoon, that oftentimes we cover stories. We don't expect ourselves to become the subject of stories when it hits our front door, unfortunately, like this one has. As you said, I spoke to this suspect's mother earlier today. She said that it was a bit surreal for her, too. She identifies him as a 25-year-old man as Jared Nathan. I spoke to people who know him. They've been talking to him in recent days. They say that he wanted to get on TV to tell his story of being shot last year in order, they say, to highlight key city issues. It's still unclear why he chose Fox 13, but when that single shot was fired, law enforcement responded in large swaths, blocking off the street for several blocks. They tried to get the suspect to surrender. New tonight, a source at the ATF tells me they are putting a rush on a gun trace to determine where the AR-style rifle that Memphis police say he used came from.
He wanted to speak to the news, to the city, to the public, to city leaders, to MPD, to CJ Davis. He wanted to speak to them about all the things that has transpired, you know, to black men.
Now, at last check, Nathan had not been booked into the Shelby County Jail down at 201 Poplar, something we will continue to check. Again, at this hour, still unclear what, if any, charges or what charges that he will face as a result of this. We're live on the Highland Strip tonight. I'm Dakari Turner, Fox 13 News.
Thank you, Dakari. Now, our live team coverage continues with a pastor who says he'd just spoken with the shooter moments before this all happened. Let's go to Fox 13's Daniel Wilkerson live on South Highland. Daniel, you just happened to run into that pastor as you were literally coming to work today for all this.
Yes, Daryl, and that pastor says that he had been dealing with the alleged shooter for about a week. He says that the alleged shooter was interested in a project that they were involved in at their church. He says it became apparent pretty soon that the alleged shooter was dealing with some struggles. Now, all new at 6. I want to give you a little bit more perspective on just how this all went down. You saw Dominique Dillon, my colleague, talking about the front lobby, the incident that happened with the alleged shooter in the front lobby. Well, you are taking a live look at the direction that front lobby is in right now. You can see the Fox 13 sign in front. We believe that the alleged shooter would have walked down the pavement here, down the sidewalk, and then walked into this parking lot. Now, straight ahead, you'll see the restaurant, Ubi's. That is the restaurant where police say the alleged shooter held up. He held up for quite a while in that bathroom as police negotiated with him. Now, take a look back to that pastor who I said I spoke with when I arrived on the scene right there at the Circle K, right at Highland and Southern. You can see the pastor there. He was standing with the father of the alleged shooter, along with the stepmother of the alleged shooter. The pastor made it known that he would assist the father and police in any negotiations. Now, in the end, police said, if necessary, that they would only use the parents to negotiate. But this is what Pastor Atkinson of True Victory Church told me about his conversation with the alleged shooter shortly before it happened. Take a listen.
I got a crisis call. He was on Facebook Live. He said, I need help. I need help. I'm going to harm myself. I'm going to kill everybody. And I said, bro, you can't do that. You know what I mean? He's on Facebook Live doing it. And then now his stepmom and everybody, he's here. He's mentally ill right now. But I know he had promised. He's a good kid. Just got some issues.
Earlier, you heard me speaking with the biological mother of the alleged shooter. She says that her son's actions were a cry for help. Daryl.
Fox 13's Daniel Wilkerson. Daniel, thank you. Now, as the suspect was barricaded in that bathroom at Ubi's restaurant near Fox 13, he then hit Facebook Live. It's in that live stream that he talked about why he wanted to talk to one of our news staff.
Well, Fox 13's Mandy Rock is joining us live in our studio tonight. Mandy, this live stream generated literally thousands of views and comments today.
Yeah, it sure did. And that video has since been deleted. But in it, you could hear the suspect yelling at the officers and saying he needs to, quote, talk to the news people. He tells officers he has some information he would like to share with the news. When officers asked what that information was, he didn't give a clear answer. In the stream, you can hear him questioning if the officers were going to kill him. He then tells his viewers where he is and asks them to come to Fox 13. Take a listen.
Y'all gonna let me talk? I need to talk to the news people. I need a camera. I need a camera in here now. I need a camera in here now. Y'all talking about y'all don't want to kill me. I know y'all don't want to kill me. Y'all already killed the young. Y'all already killed Tyreek Hill. Right here in front of Fox 13. You talking about? Right next door. Two spots next to the building, folks. Next to the news station, all the way in the back. You'll see the news station right there, dog. On my mama, folks.
And a woman who lives behind UB's let me get into her backyard so we could see when officers took that suspect into custody. Around 1:30, the officers led him out of the restaurant and into an ambulance. Darcy?
That is Fox 13's Mandy Rock reporting tonight. Thank you so much, Mandy. Well, Fox 13 employees said they heard a pop, possibly a bang, but they really didn't think much of it. Then managers started telling them that the station was under lockdown. We also know that our production manager encountered the suspect outside of the station.
Yeah, that pop probably wasn't heard by a lot of people because it was in the vestibule. He was surrounded by 2 doors. Fox 13's Kate Beery is live in our breaking news center. Kate, you talked to our friend and colleague, Ron Crawford, our production manager, about what he experienced with this man.
That's right, Daryl, and I'm standing near the assignment desk, which is the heart of our newsroom. All around me, employees took cover after they heard that bullet go off. Eventually, they were all forced to the back parking lot when police evacuated the building. Many grabbed what they could and left as quickly as they could. But before this happened, our production manager, Ron Crawford, actually met the suspect. The man told Ron that he had a story to tell the media, but that suspect had a gun.
You know, safety first. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, how do we get him away, but at the same time, how do I keep him engaged until authorities arrive? Because I'm pretty sure at that point, I saw the round that had been released after being fired on the ground. And, you know, I'm thinking to myself, I'm sure the authorities have been notified. So how can we de-escalate at the same time?
The challenge was that you didn't know what was going to happen. It was going to be a hostage situation. We knew he was barricaded, and everybody was doing as much as we possibly could at the time to get the information out to people. But again, we were also forced out of the building too by the police. And but we had people around doing journalism, trying to get the story and find out what was going on.
And that was our general manager, Kyle Krebs. He thanked police for taking the suspect into custody without any injuries to anyone in the building, to officers, or the suspect. We are all grateful to be back in the newsroom this evening, and we can promise you we will continue our work to keep our community informed. Darcy, Daryl?
Fox 13's Kate Beery. Thank you, Kate, so much. Now, what we saw today was a scene that is played out all too often right here in the Mid-South, especially Memphis. A person with known mental health issues, armed with a gun.
Fox 13's Jack Billier is joining us live tonight at 201 Papa. Jack, give us some perspective on the mental health crisis that is happening right now in our community.
Well, we actually just ran into some folks who claim to be longtime friends of the suspect. They said he was taken to Regional 1, then here to 201, and the reason they stopped by was to make sure he gets a full mental health evaluation. Now, the suspect's mother told us this afternoon he'd been facing mental health challenges since he was a teen and spent time at the Lakeside Mental Health Facility. Tonight, she and many others are questioning whether he'll be sent to jail or to get help. Blue Davis, founder of the nonprofit Love Your Neighbor 901, has been helping people facing homelessness for years and has seen the combination of homelessness and mental health send people to jail more times than she can count.
It really depends on, how the justice system is going to handle this. Unfortunately, sometimes it's not in their best favor. They may end up just going to jail and not getting the help that they really need and then get out in a few years, or if they make bond and then it's back to the streets, no resources offered, nothing like that.
The friends we spoke to say he'd been facing a long mental health struggle made worse by being both shot and run over during the last year. They say he'd also been strongly impacted by the killing of Tyree Nichols, and they say he'd come to Fox 13 in hopes of raising awareness about police brutality. Now, we're putting together our interview with those longtime friends as well as a law enforcement expert. You can watch that full report tonight on Fox 13 News at 9 and 10. Darcy?
That is Fox 13's Jack Billier reporting tonight. Thank you, Jack.
We are committed right alongside you. If you or someone you know is struggling with mental health issues, there is help available. Let's remove the stigma. Let's get help. We put together a mental health resource guide. Just visit our website. Go to fox13memphis.com. It's right there for you.
We still have sunshine out there as we look up and down Beale Street. Big Beale Street Music Festival on the way. We've been talking about the chance of showers, tracking that part of your forecast, and of course your full 7-day forecast in less than 5 minutes.
We want to keep you updated on breaking news that we have been following, of course, all day.
Gun violence hit very close to home for us at Fox 13 today. 11:10 this morning, an armed man you see to the right of your screen came to the station, said he wanted to talk to us about a story. That's our front door. That's him firing a rifle through our front door. Thankfully, the round hit the floor, ricocheted up into the desk. No one was hurt. You saw those two security guards duck out of the way. But another employee was able to convince him to leave without firing any other shots.
Well, that's when police say he went 2 doors down to Ubi's restaurant, locking himself inside of a restroom. We know that a huge police presence descended on South Highland Street, blocking off the Highland Strip. After about 2 hours and some coaxing, the man finally gave up and was safely taken into custody. Okay, sounds good. Well, that's going to do it for us. Thanks so much for watching Fox 13 News at 6.
Especially tonight. Remember, you can always get breaking news updates anytime on our mobile and streaming apps. Just search Fox 13. We're back here tonight for Fox 13 News at 9 and 10. TMZ is next.